Sold out concert to 30,000 people the day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need.
Now, it's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Who's staying, who's not, who's playing, who's not. Kind of a weird Black Monday, which I didn't mind. I'm not a big fan of people losing their jobs. I know people, just fire him. Fire him. He needs to be fired. I'm not a big fan of people losing their jobs as much as some other people are. And it was somewhat of a quiet Black Monday, which I'm okay with, but I don't know that it's done. And then let's look at the playoffs, because who's playing and who's not, who's staying and who's not, who's GMing and who's not. Well, I know who is. Good morning to you, and what up? Happy Tuesday. It's game day for Lowell basketball, and it is your opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
You all right?
All right.
I think I got that finally. I mean, I've been dodging that bug that everybody got. I think he got me yesterday. Crawled up in my chest. And then, have you got it yet?
Yeah.
Can't sleep. Like, he kept me up all night. It's brutal. Stay away from it. I'm trying. I'm glad we're separated by paint a double glass.
You can isolate yourself in that room today.
Yeah, I'll isolate today. All right, a lot to do today. It's game day for Lowell basketball. Kenny Thomas will be here coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. We will kick it with Kenny, the former Lowell great, the host of the post-game show over on News Radio KKOB that they call Lowell Live with Kenny Thomas. He'll be with us at 9 o'clock. We'll talk about Lowell basketball, but I want to get into it a little bit with you. Trap game, not trap game. Maybe since they're talking about it so much and everybody's talking trap game, maybe it will not be. Maybe that's how you avoid it. So we'll get there. We had FCS, Jim. Did you watch Montana State and North Dakota State last night?
A good game, man. North Dakota State's offense was unstoppable.
Second half, Montana State did nothing in the first half, made a big comeback in the second half. Really entertaining football, and North Dakota State wins again. That Montana State team that beat the Lobos in week 1. That was their only loss of the season. It came by 3 points in the final game of the year. And North Dakota State wins the FCS championship. I was entertained last night. I was absolutely entertained.
It was a really good game. Montana State making a run, but then North Dakota State just go right back down the football field in the second half.
Kind of leads you into where the Lobos are going. A lot of the transfers that are coming into Lobo football are coming from FCS. And I don't know if I should be concerned or to say, well, I mean, all these guys are being recruited by other places, whether it's Utah State or New Mexico State or Tulsa or whomever. The guys at the FCS level can play. And the top guys at the FCS level can play. Can they play at the level that you need to win a championship? Jason Eck, the new Lobo football coach, has said we're probably not going to win a championship right away. I think his goal is to get to 6-6 and get to a bowl game right away, right? Can you do that with guys from Idaho and Campbell and Bucknell and Weber State? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. We're going to find out because there's a whole lot of them. How do you feel? I mean, I look at guys and I see size, I see numbers, but I honestly, I'm not going to pretend I sat here and watched a lot of Idaho games or Kansas, Campbell games or Weber State games.
I definitely more confident in the offensive linemen, especially what we saw last year.
Yeah.
Lobos actually had a couple dudes from Campbell come in and play. So the FCS dudes taking a step up doesn't worry me these days. It's, guys going other places just like JUCO, like other things happen. You just need to get your grades back on track, or you're just kind of overlooked, under recruited, looking at an opportunity. So the FCS guys, I expect them to be able to play at this level, and especially the players coming over from Idaho, and they've had success in recent history against Mountain West opponents. Has Idaho, so you think, all right, this is a level that it should compete in. And when you hire a coach, you do expect that if it's a coach that was at a successful place and had a good relationship with his team, then he's going to be able to bring a couple of his dudes with him.
6 of the 12 who have signed so far, as reported by Sean Ryder, are from Idaho. One of them, his son, which you expected, Jackson Eck, an offensive lineman. And there's size on these offensive linemen, too, which I think is good. And if you get good offensive line coach in there, and we saw that last year, you can be okay. Is there a quarterback in? I know I was out of the loop for about 2 weeks and kind of, right?
The one from Idaho so far.
Okay, so that's the only one, right? Jack Lane? Okay. And maybe he's the guy, maybe he's not. I don't know. But obviously he played pretty well last year.
Well, you look at what the Lobos had, we had no idea if anyone could play outside of Devin Dampier. There wasn't even a guy on the roster like, I'm hearing some things about him. There was nothing. So
there still isn't.
You expect another quarterback or two absolutely is being signed.
Yeah, I absolutely do as well. So that's there is Lobo football. And we'll get, in the next week or two, we'll reach out and we'll get Jason Eck on and talk about the signing. The portal is closed. Like, you can't enter the portal now, but the guys who are still in the portal can be signed. That's how that's going on. So if they haven't entered, they're not, the window is closed until the spring. But if they're still in there, then they can be signed. All right. You got the NFL coming up. You got the big weekend. Coaching will be the story early in the week. And injuries. And then by the time we hit Thursday, you'll start looking at the games and everything. What I've been telling you, and what you agree with, JJ, I think, is that Mike McCarthy is a good football coach, and other teams might want Mike McCarthy. That's the Dallas Cowboys coach. Cowboy fan, you're done with him, just like Steeler fan's done with Mike Tomlin, right? I mean, Steeler fan is done with Mike Tomlin. And
yeah, I think Steeler fans can't wait for that season to be over and they'll be like, let's get this man.
But he's not going anywhere. I mean, you think they're going to fire him? The Roonies aren't going to get rid of him after another season where he totally overachieved. What did you think when the Steelers started the season with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields?
Everyone keeps telling me they're wasting a defense. Maybe try putting a quarterback with that team.
What did you think they were going to be when they started?
Like, they moved off Kenny Pickett.
Yep.
They went with quarterbacks that were dropped off at goodwill.
Yeah, totally.
And they win 10 games. Yeah, they've lost 4 in a row. They've absolutely overachieved offensively, but this is what they do. They compete. Mike Tomlin gets that team to this position. No, that's an extended track record of no postseason success. So as a fan, I understand the frustration. But getting rid of Mike Tomlin does what for the quarterback position?
Well, nothing. I mean, they're in quarterback purgatory. Where do they pick? I mean, they're in the playoffs. They're going to be in the 20s. So where are they in the quarterback market?
They're asking themselves, do you actually trust Justin Fields to play a full season? If you're all in on Russell Wilson regardless this season, as Mike Tomlin was, it's Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and what other veteran quarterback that teams are done with that hits the open market.
Yeah. You know what I found? I just dug up, and we'll do this when we get back. It's a document from September 4th of last year, right when the season was started. And you and I chose a few over-unders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 7 each. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we each chose 7. Just random over win totals.
Feel like it wasn't too good.
These are, I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to get into the Cowboy stuff. Jerry Jones is clear about one thing yesterday. It wasn't about the future of his head coach. I'll tell you what that was. And what's Christian McCaffrey going to do after this injury-riddled season? Let's hear from you today. Looking forward to it. Kenny Thomas will be with us at 9 o'clock on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Hey, I tell you about International Protective Service on a daily basis. Why? Because they keep the bad guys away. They protect my home. They protect businesses. I was at a store the other day, and they were everywhere. They protect that store because that store had been hit by property crime. It's a big deal in this town. You know it. If you haven't been a victim, you know somebody who has. Don't wait to be a victim to call IPS. It's affordable, private security that protects what you've worked so hard to build. Who's looking at your house when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys, not the bad guys. They offer alarm systems, camera systems. They have state-of-the-art facilities that monitor those cameras 24/7. It all raises the level of security around your home and your business. When you're gone, let them know. They'll pick up mail, newspapers, packages that are dropped off. They'll do exterior checks every day. International Protective Service gives my family peace of mind. I think they will for you as well. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
The NFL win totals provided by Bet365. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And we both picked a 7, right? It was kind of like a forerunner to the 3-for-all, which, by the way, I think I ended up pretty well in 3-for-all. 28-19 and 1.
You did better than that. Because we did have week 16 in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's the last one we officially had both picks in for.
So I went 30.
So you were the champion of the 3-for-all. I'm sorry we don't have your belt ready yet. But we will get to that to you, your 3-for-all championship belt. 30, 20, and 1 Symbieta against the NFL spread this season.
That's pretty good, dude.
That's fantastic.
That's 60%. Yeah, that's 60%. What'd you do?
24 and 27.
All right. How do you think you did on the win totals? Do you have any idea what you took? All right. I'm just going to go down in alphabetically. Here's what we did. You took Baltimore over. The number was 10.5. You win with 12. I took Dallas under. I win. They were 7. We both went over Detroit 9.5. They won 15. We both win. You took the Eagles over 9.5. They won 14. You win. I took the Packers over 8.5. They won 11. We're both 3-0 right now. How does that happen?
I'm not sure.
All right. Who were we just talking about? The Steelers? You went under the 8.5. You lose. They won 10. I went under the 7.5 on the Chargers. I lose. They won 11. I took the Rams 7.5. Winner 10. This is one you skated by. I thought when I was looking at it, I thought you lost. You took the Colts. You went under on the Colts. Oh, that's a loss. They won 8. Sorry, dude. I had that circled. You lose. You also took the over on Jacksonville. That was a loss. We both went over on Tennessee. We both lose. And I went over on the Broncos, 4.5. I went 5-2. You went 3-4 on the future.
What a NFL year it was for you.
Yeah. Too bad I didn't put anything. Well, I'm just playing with you for maybe lunch, right? It's kind of crazy. But I mean, just what are the surprises, right? As you look back on it, Tennessee surprised us both how bad they were. You went under on the Colts. I thought that was, you were right there, but they won 8. Jacksonville surprised us both how bad they were. And then, we kind of saw a few things coming. It was pretty good.
Well, the ones that blew stuff out of the water. The Vikings were at 5.5.
Yeah.
Commanders at 5.5. Broncos 4.5.
Well, the Niners were 10.5. That was an under that they won 6. The Bills over was easy. It was at 9.5. What the Bengals end up at? Bengals ended up at
9-8.
9-8, and the number was 9.5. I thought it was easy. I remember doing this. I remember the Cowboys one was easy for me, 9.5. You like the Eagles? The Jets were 8.5. People were on the Jets. Bears were a good pick early on. People were, oh yeah, they got that rookie quarterback. They're going to be 7.5. The Browns
They started 4-2.
I know. Browns were 7.5. Buccaneers were only 6.5. What they end up winning? End up winning 10. Yeah. And the Vikings were the big Vikings and Commanders. Commanders were 5.5. They won 12. Yeah. And then what were the Patriots? They end up winning 4. Is that what the number was? Yeah, 4. So it didn't matter because their number was 4.5. Interesting stuff though. When you just look back on it. All right. Jerry said he's not relinquishing his GM duties. Jerry Jones, Dallas Cowboys owner. No, just no. When I bought the team, I think the first thing to come out of my mouth, somebody asked, did you buy this for your kids? I said, hell no, I bought it for me. And I didn't buy an investment. I bought an occupation, and I bought something I was going to do. End quote. All right. Is he the worst GM ever? No. He's not a championship GM. He's not.
No. He's far from the worst GM or owner ever.
Yeah.
And I know there's Cowboy fans that are yelling at the radio right now when you hear that. Hasn't been successful. Are you banging your head against the wall some? Yes. But you look at other organizations, we're talking legit dysfunction, owners that don't care, don't try to win. Like, he's made moves that haven't won. It does not make you necessarily the worst owner.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's the worst GM.
No, the one thing with the Cowboys, the drought is 29 years now.
Yeah.
Super Bowl. We get it. It's the America's team mantra, all this. But when you look at dysfunctional organizations in sports, Cowboys are far from that. They just have an owner that likes to talk.
Well, dysfunctional is not the right answer. They're the right word. They're drama filled. They're
okay. In what NFL franchise doesn't have their moments of drama? It's more. It's high. It's in sixth gear when Jerry Jones talks.
It is. It's higher end drama than Jacksonville or Minnesota or Green Bay, or it just is. And it's personalities, right? Because you have that personality. When Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets, they became a high drama team, right? Would you say the Niners are high drama? Or the Rams? I mean, everybody's got a little bit of drama, but this is a different level. It's every week because the owner / GM has his own press conference. That's why. And the coach, whoever the coach is, has to sit back there and listen to his boss critique him in front of everybody. I mean, who do you want to hear from? How often do we play Mike McCarthy stuff on Monday or Tuesday?
Oh, you play Jerry Jones stuff
all the time. We never play the head coach stuff.
And that one is when you've been living it as a Cowboy fan, and to me at this point you have the discussion about Mike McCarthy. It really is, what's going to change? Well, nothing. Because Jerry Jones is there. They haven't made the winning postseason decisions to this point.
But there's worse, man. I'm just telling you, there's worse. He was asked about the roster, the shortcomings that it's his roster. He built it for Mike McCarthy. Quote, Jerry Jones, I think that's fair. I think that's very fair. I always provide the roster for the coaches. If you don't get there, you've always got some second guessing. Yes, I second guess myself all the time. The answer is yes. We make a lot of decisions. Some of them don't work out as good as others. I think that's why he's more inclined to keep Mike McCarthy around. I think that he knows he didn't give Mike McCarthy a good roster. As much as I think he absolutely believed it going into camp in the first half of the season. I think he watched just like you do. As much as we all think we know more football than him, he probably knows more football than us. Right? He watched. He had to sit there and realize, damn, dude, I didn't give this guy what I thought I gave him to win.
It's a tough spot to be in when you look at where Dallas is, thinking that they're on the cusp of still being able to be consistent. And you re-sign Dak Prescott, you're locked in with CeeDee Lamb, and you expect the offense to be pretty good. And then even if you take out the quarterback play, you see Just the offensive line got older, wasn't that same unit. Some of the holes defensively, and then you're in a tough position where you got the quarterback on the big deal, but you have to figure out how to kind of do some readjustment and refoundation stuff. Lay that porch again, find a way to kind of tear it up a little bit and put it in with not a lot of excess. But that's the job of NFL general managers. Yeah, and like these quarterbacks are going to make a lot of money. You're going to have dudes on your roster, so you got to hit the draft hard. And I think one of the decisions too is, a dude that is making too much noise and ain't worth it to me is Michael Parsons. It's time to get some draft capital for that dude. And
you want to trade him now?
Yeah. I want to talk about a dude who talks all the time about the team.
Yeah. Let me go back to what you said. The job of the general manager. You're right. The difference is most general managers get fired if they don't hit their thresholds. There's nobody to fire this general manager, right? That therein lies the difference. There's a pressure every year, and maybe you do the job differently, knowing there's nobody to fire me because I'm the boss, right? So I'm making all the decisions. If you're a GM like Joe Shane, if the Giants and you're working for the Mara family, right? You got a boss. Every other GM's got a boss except for this one, and so therein lies the difference.
But I would also argue that he cares. So I don't think that means he's not trying to win.
100% agree with you. I just think, do you approach it differently? But he ain't going anywhere, man. And you guys, look, we've had this conversation. We spent hours on this. Hours and hours and hours on this. He's not going anywhere. The question is Mike McCarthy. Niners. Christian McCaffrey played 4 games. He had that bilateral Achilles tendonitis. It's delayed the start of the season. Then he had the PCL injury. Ended it. Quote, I'm excited. I think we're all pissed off in the right ways. I think that's a good place to be. He vows to return next season with a chip on his shoulder after not being on the field. Achilles, both Achilles tendonitis. That's real, dude. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a doctor. I don't know how you deal with that, but that sounds like something that's relatively chronic.
I think it's just you adjust expectations across the board. And especially with San Francisco, the reality that's a tough game that they play. And what they went through roster-wise this season, even going through their backups, getting hurt in the year, you do what you can to acquire the best depth possible, and that's every single year in sports, man. But McCaffrey's going to be there. You're going to try to run it back. And again, as we move forward, I think one of the questions, too, is what happens with Brock Purdy, because he's on the forefront. He's already striking, saying, I'd love to get this done quick. Come talk to me. Let's get this contract. Like, he wants to get that bag. And if you're San Francisco, you can take a little bit of a step back there and go, let's wait and see.
All right, when we come back, Global Basketball tonight up in Laramie. How do you avoid the trap? And what will Wyoming do to slow down the Lobos with their first-year coach? 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
In Wyoming over on News Radio KKOB, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock they tip. Is that a network game? Jay, it's got to be. It's the lone game on a Tuesday, right? Today is, what's today's date? It is, yeah. Oh, no, it's not the lone game on a Tuesday. But it's still a network game. CBS Sportsnet will have that game. And you can watch that. So
it's an 8 o'clock tip-off tonight.
Oh, yes, you're right. I'm looking at tomorrow's women's game. 8 o'clock tip-off, 7:30 pregame. Sorry about that. My bad. I give you better.
People are like, oh, dang it, it's Mountain West schedule.
Yeah, sorry about that. 8 o'clock. All right. So you get that over on News Radio KKOB.
Lobos better show up at 8.
Yeah. It's 12 degrees right now in Laramie. So when they go over for their shoot around, there's a winter weather advisory. You know what the low tonight up there is? -1. Yeah, it's chilly.
Luckily, when you pull up to the Dome of Doom,
the
bus gets to back down to the ramp, so
it
it's
goes
maybe like 15 feet you have to walk.
You're flying to Laramie?
Yeah.
So it was probably pretty cold when you got off the plane, right?
Yes.
Years and years ago, I went up there for a press conference when we invited them to the bowl game, and I flew into Laramie, and it was 20 below, and they're like, "Oh no, it's really nice now." It was about 40 below this morning. I'm like, and it was sunshine.
40 below?
That's what they said. Yeah, in the morning.
It was like 40 below.
18,
No
20
big
below
deal.
when I got there. It's like,
what?
I don't know that I'd ever felt that, to be honest with you.
You're gonna feel some temps tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but I mean, again, teens, single digits. That's cold. I don't know that I'd ever felt that. And those people they love it up there. They love it. Sundance Wicks.
Yeah, it's it's kind of the same thing like when you're in a cult, right? You just don't know any different.
Okay.
Cult of Laramie, wow.
Okay. Is there a better name for a head coach at Wyoming than Sundance Wicks? I mean, there just isn't.
No.
And he's pretty good. He was asked how he's going to slow down Donovan Dent. Dent is the only player in the country right now who is averaging 19 points and 7 assists or more per game. And he was talking to Alex Taylor of Wyoming Sportsnet. And the quote from Sundance Wicks is, quote, "At every dead ball, you try to untie his shoe." So you just try and mess with him a little bit. When his shoelaces are always untied, he'll be like, "What's going on? It's the art of war." End quote. I believe he's kidding.
They might just try it.
I believe he's kidding. I saw Tom Berman, their athletic director, on social media, begging people to get out there. School is still on break, so the students are not there. There will not be a big crowd tonight. This is one of those games where people go, "Oh, nobody supports them." That's why. I mean,
that's why you're not in the Pac-12.
Yeah. I mean, Laramie's a town of what, about 30,000 people when there's no students in session, or when there's no school. And Cheyenne's 45 miles away and over a pass, and you get weather up there, and it's not easy, man. It's just not easy to get there. It's just not a lot of people. This is a team, JJ, and again, I said it yesterday. We'll talk to Kenny about it. This is a team that's absolutely capable of beating you. I think you win tonight. I do. But I think this one's a rock fight tonight.
Absolutely. And their leading scorer, Obi Ogbim, is questionable. So if they don't have his 18.5 points per game, they do not have another player on that team.
What's he questionable with? Do you know?
No. They do not have another player on that team that scores in double figures. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do to try to generate offense into this matchup. But it's an uneasy feeling. I expect the Lobos to win. There might be moments early where it gets tight. But especially if Wyoming's leading scorer is out, there's no way this can turn into a trap game.
I agree with that. I don't think they're deep enough to beat you without their best player. I agree with that. I'll find you a spread on this. There's other games tonight in the conference. If you want to get in, 505-246-0610 is how you get here. Also tonight, Fresno State's at Colorado State. Utah State, who is now ranked, by the way. Utah State has become ranked. They're ranked 25th in the country. They'll be at San Jose State. And UNLV at Boise State, 8:30 on FS1. Tomorrow night, the Aztecs will host Air Force. Quick turnaround for San Diego State because then they got to get on a plane and play a morning game on Saturday. So they'll play a late-night game on Wednesday in San Diego and come in on Friday. I'm going to guess Friday afternoon, Friday morning.
It's been a deal with the man's travel. I know they got to Boise like at midnight or something.
Yeah, and won that game.
Played a 2 p.m. game in Boise.
What do you think the spread is on the Lobos tonight?
14.5?
6.5.
Oh.
New Mexico by 6.5. You know, the metrics don't love New Mexico because of that one loss. So this is where, and again,
so obviously I'm taking the Lobos.
With the 6.5? Yeah, if you liked it at 14.5. Yeah, I think that's about right. New Mexico State does not play, and the reason I'm bringing this up is you're watching their games now. They don't play Thursday. They will play on Saturday at UTEP. UTEP's 12-3 and 2-0 in conference play. Aggies are 9-6, 2-0 in conference play. It's a big Conference USA game. But Lobo fan, you want New Mexico State winning as much as they can. No, I don't. I hate them. I hate those guys. I got it. But you need them to get to 160 in the net. Because I was told by Frank yesterday, 160 is the magic number, JJ, where that turns from a quad 4 to a quad 3 loss. And evidently, that doesn't hurt you nearly as much.
That's correct.
Doesn't help you. But the quad 4 loss at home hurts. So you, as much as it's against probably everything in Lobo fan, you're pulling for that to go the other way. And you need the Aggies to win. And I know it's weird for you. I think we're going to talk with Dr. Burge, their new interim acting is the word, acting athletic director, on Friday. She wants to come on before to promote the UTEP game, is what I was told. So we'll talk to her on Friday and just kind of get her thoughts on the direction of the program. Boy, what a slate on Saturday, though. Saturday's really, really good. Boise State's at Utah State. San Diego State's at New Mexico. UNLV at Colorado State. You got really good games on Saturday. And of course, the Lobo game, make your plans on Saturday. 11 a.m. start in the pit on CBS. There should be a pretty good crowd. Don't you think? 11 a.m., especially if they win tonight.
I think regardless, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, Saturday morning. It's scheduled, man. It's a weekend.
Yeah, get up. I mean, sleep till 9, dude. Who does Lobo fan? I don't know if the word's dislike. Who do you like to cheer against or boo? Or maybe the word is dislike more. Nevada or San Diego State?
San Diego State.
Even though Alfred and Noodles are there?
Yes.
What if I said Alfred and Noodles or San Diego State?
San Diego State.
Okay. And it's because San Diego State's got more success? They were the team that went to...
that you want to be. Battling for conference titles. Battling for NCAA tournament success. That's who the Lobos want to be.
Team that 2 years ago played for national title.
And then there's smack talk back and forth. The one thing with Nevada is they still have Steve Alford. I don't see a lot of Nevada and Lobo fans going back and forth on social media.
Is that right? Okay.
The Aztecs, show how they roll. I think it's just straight teams, like outside of the Alford storyline.
Yeah.
It's San Diego State and Boise State.
So,
I think people like going at Leon Rice even more so than Steve Alford.
That's easy. Yeah, you really people or not, but not Lobo fan, right?
Yeah. I think Lobo fan, boos Alford, this or that. You left, yeah, but team wise, I think it's Aztecs and Broncos.
Okay, I think you're probably right. In the new Mountain West, when in 2 years from now, right? We got this year and next year, and then do you think it's New Mexico UNLV, New Mexico Nevada?
I think it would be New Mexico Nevada would
at that point. Yeah.
Be that
it still bumps me out, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I look at this league and I look at the basketball. Utah State and San Diego State are so good. I think UNLV is going to be good. They're 3-0 in league right now, and they'll be at Colorado State on Saturday. Where do they go tonight? Where's UNLV? Are they at Fresno tonight? Yeah, no, they're at Boise tonight. That's a great game tonight. That's a great late night game tonight. Yeah, it's still when I look at what this basketball league is. And how fun it is, and that there's 5 really good programs in whatever order you want: Boise State, San Diego State, New Mexico, Utah State, Nevada, and UNLV. That's 6. And then did I even say Colorado State?
Colorado State.
I might not have. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. I got some stuff from you that I'll get in on Jerry Jones. I will read that to you because you sent it. I got a bunch of emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo.
On Obi Ogbim, the Wyoming leading scorer who's averaging 18.5 points a game. Ankle, he's questionable for tonight against the Lobos. 7:30 pregame, 8 o'clock tip over on News Radio KKOB. The voice of the Lobos, Robert Portnoy, along with Hunter Green, will be courtside in the AA, the Arena Auditorium. What's the toughest trip in the league? Is it there or Logan?
It's Logan for us because we never fly into Logan.
Yeah, you go into Salt Lake and then drive up that mountain.
Well, it's either Salt Lake or Ogden. Like you can get like close, but we never get fully in.
Yeah.
And you still got the bus, and you just keep your fingers crossed that it's not snowing sideways.
Yeah.
Because then you're just going through those mountains, and you're just kind of uneasy, and you just stare at your cell phone. Like, I do not want to look up. Do not want to look outside.
Is that right?
How's this bus getting up this hill?
I remember I did one game at, what's it, D. Glenn Smith, somebody Coliseum Spectrum? D. Glenn Smith Spectrum? Is that what it is?
It's going to be popping.
Is that what it is? D. Glenn Smith. So I've done one game there. It was way back in the day when the Aggies and the Aggies, when I was doing Aggie Vision at New Mexico State, and those were the 2 best teams, them in Nevada, in the WAC. And I went up there, and that place was insane. But I flew into Salt Lake City and drove up that mountain pass, and it was
That's the one thing about the Mountain
gnarly.
West.
Yeah.
There's some extended trips, but my goodness, it's
it's tough.
Just makes sense.
What do you mean?
Just as a conference, like at least you're not going from LA to New Jersey.
No, I agree. Look, but that driving that mountain pass, I remember that. And I remember the first time I got into the Cache Valley, I'm like, whoa, it's really beautiful. It is beautiful up there.
Yes, it's not a bad place.
Yeah,
for a few days.
When are you going up there? You gonna go hang out, have lunch with Bronco?
Oh goodness.
What? You think he'll take your call?
I don't know the exact day we're going to Utah State.
You got Lady Lobos basketball on. When do you have your next game?
Wednesday night.
That would be tomorrow.
Cowgirls in town.
That would be tomorrow. Wyoming is here. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock.
So the
tip.
4 undefeated teams in conference play on the women's side.
All right.
It's Colorado State.
Yeah.
UNLV.
Yeah.
Wyoming and New Mexico. Next 3 games for the Lobos: Wyoming, UNLV, at Colorado State.
Well, that leads me into Lynn's email. It says, this is a typical Bradbury team, Jeff. It seems the Lady Lobos always have a nice January win. They peak every year at this time. In 6 weeks, they'll be tired and beat up and limping home as usual. It's from Lynn.
They have to win in Vegas to change that narrative.
They got to get past. I mean, they got to win a game or 2 in Vegas. They got to get to Friday night in Vegas, for crying out loud. Don't you think? Yes.
Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's different. When's the championship?
Wednesday.
Yeah, so they got to get to Tuesday. They got to get to the semifinal. Yeah. You know, one of the things that when Lobo, and I say it's heyday, and I believe it to be, you know, when you want to talk about Lobo men's basketball, what was the heyday? We can have all these conversations you want. It was the Ellenberger years, the Bliss years, the Alford years, this year. Well, fine. Pick your generation. I don't think there's an argument for women, right? It was the Flanagan years, right? And one of the things about that is you knew they were going to play well in Vegas. And they had great crowds, and that's when the men's and women's tournaments ran concurrently. And so you would go out there and you would see Lobo fans that were there for the men would come out for the women. That's where the reputation got started about how well UNM travels. And I think they've done the women a disservice. Now, I don't know how they would do it, JJ, with so many games now, and the conference got so big, and right, how they run all those games. But I mean, and you could play some of the women's games, I imagine, in the Cox Pavilion.
I guess then where would the media staging be?
But that wouldn't be fair either, right? Yeah, because that's where they stage the media. Yeah, no, that's right. All right, on the text line, this is on the Jerry Jones stuff. Because I said, look, I'll stand by this. I don't think Jerry Jones is the worst GM in the league. He sure as hell isn't the best. But there's guys who are worse. He's not going to get fired. It says, I don't know what Jerry Jones' schedule is, but I would bet my life that he does not spend as much time watching film and going places to watch players as other GMs do, and it shows. Jerry Jones loses $10 million running for the bus. He has enough money to pay a GM who will put in the time that's necessary to create a winning roster. Dallas Cowboys have not had a winning roster in a really long time. That's fair. I mean, look, when you got owner duties, you know, the GM isn't worried about all the things the owner is, right? But it's the way it's going to be, man. You can complain about it all you want, because then there's this one. Mike says, disagree, Jeff Alou. I think Jerry did a great job holding the Cowboys together with all their injuries. Most folks couldn't name 2 guys on offense they were 6 seconds away from beating Washington with. It's from Mike. So Mike thinks he's doing a great job, and the texter says he's got to go hire a GM. And that's the beauty of this thing, right?
Well, the Cowboys have scouts. I don't think every general manager is making every scouting trip.
No, you have a whole scouting department, and then you sit down and around tables and you go over guys, you go over.
Comes down to him being the final decision maker and the owner and this and that.
Well,
yes.
So the way I understand this, the GM and the director of scouting, right? The director of scouting oversees all the scouts. Scouts go out; they all have they come together and they make cumulative decisions. That's how they make their board, right? And then when it comes down to it, you know how tough it is when you have the 4th pick in your fantasy football draft and you don't know who to take, right? go put those stakes on the line. And that's what it comes down to. And you in your own mind are making your pick. These guys are consulting the owner, the GM, the scout, the head coach. And from what I understand from people who do this, it's very rare that they all fall on the same. Now, they'll all tell you they all fall on the same page. But the scout says, no, I think that left tackle's a generational tackle. The head coach says we need a damn quarterback, or we need a wide receiver. You know, we're at number 6. Right? The GM says, man, I don't know. We give up a lot of points. We need an edge rusher. This guy, it could be really good. And you're on the clock. Tick, 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 tick. You got a draft board. Yeah. But you don't always just go by your draft board. Sometimes you go by need. Sometimes you go by best available. Right? It's a hell of a process. Carl says Lobo football destroyers Montana State go down. Jeff, heartbreaking loss for the Bobcat. Yeah, it was a tough one last night. Lobo Hobo. Can I vent, Jeffy? Sure, that's what we're here for. Against all the goofy-looking weather dudes that were crying over Christmas, the weather was too nice. Yeah, you can vent about that. The weather was freaking great, especially on the 28th, JJ.
I was thinking last week I was at the park with shorts and a t-shirt.
I know, dude. I know.
I ain't complaining. I'm not like, where's my fall, winter weather? I love it.
no.
Go outside,
Don't play
go
golf,
to the park. Wonderful winter break.
I mean, do we need some snow? Yeah, we do. But I mean, you go walk outside later today when it's 55-mile-an-hour canyon winds and it's 28
Those winds
degrees.
are hitting you in the face.
Tell me how much you missed
that smile going to be on your face. Like, yeah, winter weather.
Yeah, those damn goofy weather guys.
Be all crazy as well.
I will, though. I mean, there were a lot of people, I can't wait till the cold weather. Really? Like, do you really like who likes the cold weather? Even people who live in Green Bay like it. They tolerate it, right? That's that's life.
Yeah, it gets to a point. It's just like if you're living in Seattle, right?
Yeah, it rains.
It rains a lot, and you
Freaking
don't want to
rain.
be depressed every day. So you say, I love the rain.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Kenny Thomas is going to be with us coming up at, what time is that, 9 o'clock? Chargers are adding to their playoff roster running back depth. This is the Dalvin Cook thing. Don't bite. Don't bite. You've got me on it, JJ. I'm with you. Don't bite. Although, who knows? It's the opening drive. He's JJ Buck. I'm merely Jeff Sabieta on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, Find it on ProView Networks.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
The Arena Auditorium, the AA as the kids call it, the Dome of Doom. It's a weird little round place, right? I've been in it. I've never seen a game. I got a tour of it when I was up there for football one.
Yeah, it's like a circle,
right?
Arena is kind of used to kind of square, oval type of environment, and it's legit a circle. It's like it was built for wrestling, and then they're like, "Oh, let's play basketball in here."
All right, maybe rodeo. Yeah, back in the day, but that's where they'll be. Questionable is the best player for Wyoming tonight. Ankle injury for Obi Ogbim. Questionable if he can't go. I mean, Lobos should win that game by 18 if he can't go. Lobos have 2 double-digit road victories in conference already, right? At Colorado State and at Fresno State. Was it not Colorado State? San Jose State? No, they haven't been to San Jose State. I know it was Fresno State. It wasn't Colorado State?
Why did that close at the end? I know it got tight at the end of that Colorado State game.
Yeah,
like they were up by double digits.
Yeah, I'll find it for you. But and then they won by 13 or 16, 18, whatever it ended up being at Fresno State. And Richard was unhappy that they were winning by. Remember back in the day, people called in. They were unhappy that the Lobos only won by 4 or 5 up in Fresno. Richard was unhappy that they won by 13. The Colorado State game ended up at 76-68, so that was 8. And then the Fresno State game was 14 points, 103-89. So 2 good wins on the road as they go. Hey, am I supposed to, and you can tell me if I back off this, and this wasn't in our production meeting this morning, am I supposed to be giving a lot of credence to this Fox lawsuit, this whole Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, Shannon Sharp, Emmanuel Acho thing that's going on that claims that Joy Taylor slept with everybody to get to where she is? I mean, isn't that what I'm reading everywhere?
Giving a lot of, if you want to do an entertainment segment or like a scandalous segment, sure.
It sure is getting a lot of run, is it not?
Because it's
scandalous and sexy and she's hot and so all right, then I'll leave it alone.
But it's not like we need to hit this today because it matters. No, it's a scandalous story in the industry.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Jack hit me. NFL equal Lobo fans? ? Jeff, over Christmas, I felt like Lobo fans trying to find the games. I needed this package and that package. Even then, some were only on a crummy net stream. Will the $1 billion NFL, while it's raking it in, can we at least get games on TV? Is that really too much to ask? Yeah, Jack, it is. Right. So Jack, most net streams aren't crummy anymore. Like that was a narrative, 4 or 5 years ago. Don't you think? A crummy net stream.
It's definitely different when you're streaming on Amazon and then Netflix.
Yeah.
After they had that kind of disaster with the Paul Tyson fight, everyone was worried, and NFL went off.
That was Netflix, right? Yeah. I watch games on the Mountain West Network, and they're usually pretty clean. If you've got good Wi-Fi, I mean, Jack, is it too much to ask? Probably, yeah. If you don't see this is where it's going, look at ESPN Plus. Like most Aggie games now, right? Aggie fans have to watch almost all their games on ESPN Plus. And the production's pretty good. And, if you have decent Wi-Fi, it's a decent, is it easy as, and that's the one thing that I don't like, right? I like being able to just go previous channel, back and forth, as opposed to going out of apps into another app to go watch it, to watch the other game. That's the inconvenience to me. But you're getting more and more content. And Jack, it probably is too much to ask at this point. That's how they're making all those billions of dollars. And you're going to buy a Netflix subscription, then you're going to get a Peacock subscription. Can I tell you, I didn't buy whatever games on Peacock I didn't see.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
I've got the Amazon Prime network package because I use Amazon Prime. So I'll use that for the Thursday night package. And, Netflix you can find, right? But I drew the line on the Peacock stuff. I just did. Now, ESPN Plus, I have. Do you have ESPN Plus?
If most people, if you got Hulu or Disney Plus, you got ESPN Plus. Let's get that bundle.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's all United games are all on there. If you like that at all.
And you can watch that through each app now. Like you don't have to be on ESPN Plus. Like you can be in Hulu, find stuff. Like it.
Yeah, Jack, it's evolving, man.
TV's not smart. Get an encyclopedia at this point, but
but your phone is. I mean, your phone, right? Is it too much to ask? Probably at this point it is. Yeah. This one says the reason Lobo fans hate San Diego State the most. One, prior to its finals appearance, SDSU fan base was perceived as being so arrogant. The more success they had, the more insecure we, Lobo fans, became. Lobo fans believe their success should have been our success. We covet what they've achieved. Therefore, they are the target of our ire more so than the former coaches. 2, Coach Eck was at the basketball game Friday night. Has anybody heard from him and his thoughts about the atmosphere? He had to be stoked. I've not heard anything from him, but it looks like he signed about 6 dudes who were
Well, he
there.
sure as heck mentioned it multiple times when he's discussing his football job.
When in his
the
press
atmosphere
conference.
of the pit.
Yeah, but not since, right? Not since the game the other night? Yeah, and he had a bunch of recruits out there, right? Yeah, I had not heard that. It's interesting. So is that that's probably a good summary, don't you think? Why Lobo fan hates San Diego State fan the most? And look, San Diego State fan is arrogant. That's my alma mater. What have I called it for years? I call it a geographical arrogance.
Well,
right?
that's
even when they aren't doing anything like football. Like what are they in football?
Rivalries outside of like the classics. Yeah. Most of it's not necessarily. You don't necessarily like dislike the team. You just like the fans of said team, and that's where it comes from.
It's like Boise State. If I said to you right now, give me the 12 or 14 best group of 5 football programs / teams, San Diego State probably would not be in that. Is that correct?
If you're like, we going just at this exact moment, or
as we sit here right
taking
now,
into account a few years?
Okay. I mean, you would tell me Tulane and Memphis are better, would you not?
Right now, yes.
Would you tell me Army or Navy?
Right now, yes.
All right, that's 4. Anybody else out of that league? I mean, would you tell me North Texas? Probably not, even though they made a bowl game. Would you tell me anybody Conference USA? Probably not, right? Would you say Liberty? You would?
Mm-hmm.
Liberty's
right
better
now.
Liberty didn't have a good year, but all right. Anybody out of the MAC? Probably not. Boise State, UNLV. Is Colorado State better than them? I don't know. Maybe just those two in this league, right? Would you say Utah State is? No. Sun Belt? I mean, you say James Madison, right? My whole point is they're on the cusp of are they one of the best group of 5 teams? And they think they're who they are. Look, I love my alma mater. It was great. It was a great time. But the geographical arrogance there is amazing. And football is what stirs the pot, or isn't it? Their field looks like the Bahamas Bowl. Did you see the Bahamas Bowl? All the sand coming up from that game. Did you watch any of the Bahamas Bowl? That was Buffalo and somebody Buffalo played.
That's Saturday?
Yeah. It was Saturday morning. Buffalo played somebody. Who the hell did Buffalo play? Doesn't matter, right? It was a Conference USA team. It was somebody. But yeah, it was like the sand just coming up from that. It might have been Liberty. Actually, I think it was Liberty. And Buffalo pumped them. But, when you tell me football runs everything, football runs the roost, they've not been good. They just haven't. But there's that arrogance to it. But I get it. I get why you don't like them. All right, when we come back, Derek Carr, would you take a pay cut to remain with the Saints? Would you take a pay cut to help make your team better? Who's giving back money? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.org. That's nmfasfa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All-in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
From the Sandia foothills.
And the Saints have questions to answer. Who's their head coach? Who's their quarterback? Derek Carr missed 7 games because of the injuries. Missed the Final Four. He had a broken hand. Derek Carr has got a 4-year, $150 million deal. What is that, like 35 a year, right? 38 a year, something like that. It's pretty, I mean, it's about where he should be, right? In today's market. He signed that in 2023. As it stands, he will count $51.45 million against the salary cap next year. So, Derek Carr, would you take a pay cut to stay in New Orleans? Quote, Derek Carr, I wouldn't take a pay cut. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, especially with what I put on tape. Would I restructure? Absolutely. I'll always help the team that way. But there's some things that you put out there that you earn. Even in some cases, it could be even worse. But I felt confident when I signed that that this would give the team the best flexibility at the time. But there's always a kind of respect as a quarterback. You're like, well, still, we're in that respectful lane. We're good. Build the team. But yeah, I wouldn't take anything less to do this. It's hard enough putting our bodies through it, and you're trying to get everything you can for your family for it, end quote. Can I tell you I don't have a problem with it?
I don't have a problem with them saying that either. No one's going to willingly say, of course, I'm taking less money.
Take my money.
I'm going to take a pay cut. I think what the fascinating thing there for the Saints is you need him healthy so you can cut him and just deal with the cap hit after that. Because I think that's the direction they're going, as opposed to him not being healthy. And it's back to the hand injury. Because if he has that physical coming up in March, and if that hand's not 100%, guess what? He gets $40 million guaranteed no matter what they do with him next year. That injury guaranteed.
They are in the worst shape of anybody, the Saints are, in regards to cap space. They're projected to be about $67 million over the cap next year. No other team's more than $22 million over the cap. How the hell did they get there?
Pushing veteran salaries down the road. They were trying to be in win now mode when you had Tyrann Mathieu, Cameron Jordan, Alvin Kamara,
Michael Thomas,
that veteran guys that were getting paid, and they're pushing it down the road, and this is what happens.
All right, so a Carr to restructure his deal is almost guaranteed unless they want to release him, and that post June 1 designation would allow them to spread his dead cap hit over 2 years. And again, that dead cap hit is what? What I tell you, 51.45, whatever the number was. He was 5-5, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's still an NFL quarterback. Look, when I look around the league and what's out there, he's still an NFL quarterback. Is he a really good one? No, he's lower half at this point in his career, but he's still a good NFL quarterback, a guy that can do something. He's told ESPN that he had super positive conversations with the Saints about his future, but he's made it clear that he's not taking a pay cut. Quote again, that's the life of a quarterback. Whenever the season doesn't end the way you wanted, that's the person people look at. Well, that money can we free up and get and do this? And I'm fully confident with what I put on tape. I'm not worried if that's the case. And it had to change and all that kind of stuff. I'm super confident that whatever it is, I could get elsewhere to play. And so I'm not worried about that. But at the same time, I just want to win. End quote. Again, man, it's not like, for the quarterback market, it's not like he's making stupid money. He's making really good money, 150 over 4 years. Now he's got to be better. He's got to be healthy. Where would he fit, dude? If he left, is he a guy that if Brock Purdy's not good that could fill in San Francisco for a year? Is he a guy that could fill in if Tua can't go down to Miami? What about Seattle?
I don't think we're looking at long-term issues with either of those guys.
Okay, what about Seattle? Is he better than Geno?
I think he is Geno Smith at this point.
He is Geno Smith, right? Yeah. What is Seattle going to do? What did you tell me? They pick. You had a draft order for me somewhere, like probably in the what, mid-teens, 14, 15, right in there. I mean, does he go to Tennessee? Tennessee has the first pick. He doesn't go there. Cleveland? What does Cleveland do? I mean, you got a lot of questions.
So the Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, and New York Giants had the first 3 picks.
And I think they all need a quarterback. Yeah. Or do they? I mean, the Giants absolutely need a quarterback. Does Tennessee?
Yes.
Right? They do, right? The Will Levis thing's not working.
It's Cam Ward going number 1 overall.
Okay.
maybe Shedeur Sanders. There's like
what is Cleveland?
The over/under on quarterbacks in the first round this year is 2.5.
What does Cleveland do? Because is Deion going to push his kid away from? If he pushes him away from Cleveland, he gets his kid into New York. The bright lights of New York, right? That's who's sitting there next. If he tells Cleveland, "Man, don't take my kid," he ain't gonna play there. Like if he try, does he have the clout that Archie Manning had? And yes. The Chargers still, if you recall, drafted Archie Manning. And it's the only person I ever said, I'm not living in San Diego. The only guy ever said, hell no.
They can push him away, but a situation like that could occur where Cleveland could still draft Shedeur Sanders and then be like, all right, what are you trading to get this guy then?
Okay.
Just like Chargers drafted Eli Manning and they swapped him for Phillip Rivers.
And they got more on top of Phillip Rivers. Yeah. Manning was 1, Rivers was 2, and they swapped the quarterbacks. They both had really good careers. The Giants won Super Bowls. Chargers went to a Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. What do you do?
No, they didn't. Now Phillip Rivers.
They didn't?
No.
It was Stan Humphries, right? They didn't go to one with Phillip Rivers? He never went to one? I thought he went to one but didn't win. He never got to one? Damn.
It can be. You got to think, too, that was Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger.
Best quarterback to never go to a Super Bowl.
Rivers is on that list.
Dan Fouts?
Yeah.
2 Chargers.
The Charger quarterbacks.
Yeah. It's 2 Chargers, right? Justin Herbert. Oh, damn. I see a pattern.
He's got time.
Stan Humphries, I want to say, was their quarterback.
Was that 94?
Ish. Yeah, that sounds about right. Because I was in Tri-Cities watching it. I remember watching that Super Bowl against the Niners. They got run. Yeah, sounds about right. Where was I going? So,
well, there's opportunities because this is not the draft where you're seeing 6 quarterbacks go. You're seeing maybe 2 in the first round.
Right.
Like last year's was.
But they're going in the first 3 picks. They are.
Potentially.
I mean,
I think Sanders.
Tennessee and the Giants.
We're going to see a much different narrative with Shedeur Sanders for the next couple.
Okay, but months. Tennessee and the Giants, right? Both need a quarterback. So what do you do if you're Cleveland? Because you got this, what you were just telling me about Derek Carr with the injury. You got the same situation with Deshaun Watson, don't you? He's not healthy.
He's not going anywhere. So he's there. And the thing is, do you just bring in a rookie going, we're going to sit on Deshaun Watson? Because he tore his Achilles.
Right.
Like he's not starting.
And he had a setback.
He's not the starting quarterback for the Browns to start the season. I'm not anticipating that. But he's going to be there. Just on the roster for a year or 2.
Is that Derek Carr?
That's the situation. It's like Derek Carr, Cleveland. Let's go back to Las Vegas. Like at this point, like those are.
Well, what do they do? Because
honestly, it could end up just being where the Saints are. They're not selecting a quarterback in the first round. They're probably going to restructure, and when it's all said and done, I expect Derek Carr to be on the Saints roster next year.
I do too, because where else are they going? Is Justin Fields play into this year's free agent and Russell Wilson? Because I'm not convinced the Steelers stay put with either one of those 2 guys. Are you?
One of them, yes.
You think that will be Russ?
Yes, because it's
because they're going to have to pay him this time around.
I don't have to pay him a lot, but do you want to get better? Yes, but that getting better is if a Derek Carr hits the market, it's is Kirk Cousins going to be a little bit better because he's an extra year removed from the Achilles? Like it's not.
No one's taking it. Well, so those are the 2 wild cards: Cousins and Rodgers, right?
Not because Kirk Cousins isn't talking retirement potentially the way Aaron Rodgers is.
Is Rodgers the Raiders' stopgap? Honestly. Totally could see that, can't you?
Bring Devontae Adams back with him?
Can't you see that? I just, who's that team then? And I'm not sure I think there is one that has a really good roster. I mean, we just watched the Vikings go from projected 5 wins to win 14 games. And it's too early to say who that is next year. And even when we say it in September, we're going to be wrong. But who's that team that you look at right now and says, all right, they're going to take the shot on Rodgers or Kirk Cousins and think they're over the top. And the Jets just tried it. What the hell are the Jets going to do? I mean, you got teams, honestly, that are going to be desperate at quarterback the Jets, the Giants, the Raiders, the Browns. I guess New Orleans they're gonna stay with what they've got. The Raiders, the Titans have the number 1 pick, so they're gonna draft one, and the Giants are gonna draft one. So you got 4 teams that, like, where the hell are they going? If this isn't a deep draft, you had 6 guys this year. Sam Darnold goes where? I think Sam Darnold's getting franchised, staying in Minnesota.
I think he stays in Minnesota.
You think he gets franchised?
Yes.
100%, right? And franchise will pay him, what, about $57 million? Yeah, I think they're going to hold on to him because of the uncertainty with J.J. McCarthy. And they hold on to him, and he gets franchised. But I got the Jets, the Giants.
There's the reality, and we saw it last year with a team like the Raiders. There's not always that answer out there.
Gardner Minshew. Yeah.
Like, there's not. Like, if you need a quarterback and you don't have the top 2 picks, I would be inclined to think about maybe a Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
Mid-first round, second round.
So, and you kind of led me right into where I'm going. Because the success of Bo Nix, who was what, number 12? 11? Where the Broncos? Okay. Because there was a guy who was the sixth quarterback picked, led his team to the playoffs, looked really, really good, and is up for Rookie of the Year. Are you more inclined to say, hey, I might be able to look further down the draft and find my guy?
No. You're not more inclined. Like, last year's quarterback class was that good.
Okay.
We're talking about guys that were Heisman Trophy winners, won a ton of games, college football playoff. Like Dylan Gabriel, I still think is the third guy. Now, where would he slot in last year's class? It probably would be 7.
So I'm looking at starting quarterbacks in the NFL. You think you got to get him in the top 5, 6? Buffalo's quarterback was picked, what, 7th? Right? New England's quarterback was picked. Where'd they get Drake May?
It was 3.
Yeah, that's probably right.
So it went Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May.
Baltimore's quarterback was the last pick of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Where did Deshaun Watson go?
He was early teens.
All right. Pittsburgh's quarterback was third round. Third round.
Russell Wilson.
Yep. Tennessee's quarterback, they don't have one. Broncos quarterback was the 6th guy picked. Kansas City's quarterback was like the 10th or 12th pick. Rams, well, that was number 1. San Francisco's quarterback was the last pick in the draft. Seattle's quarterback was late first round or early second round. All I'm saying is there's guys that, Jordan Love was 20-something. Dak Prescott was 3rd round, right?
Yeah, Prescott was a 4th rounder.
4th round? Yeah. So there's guys that can do this. It makes New Orleans' decision pretty easy, doesn't it? It's like, I'm sorry, not New Orleans, Carolina. It makes Carolina's, they run this thing back, don't they? They saw progress with the young quarterback, and you got your guy. You're convinced you got your guy.
Well, and even you look at the retreads, or guys are like, oh, this guy's, Baker Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick. Sam Darnold was the number 3 overall pick. By the way, that draft is looking a lot better when it went Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. I got a bunch of emails and texts from you.
Jared Goff, number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Pick.
No. Look, there's plenty of number 1s and 1, 2, 3s. I'm not telling you that's the wrong way to go either, right? I mean, Tua and Rodgers and Burrow and Stroud and Richardson was number 5 and Trevor Lawrence and
Burrow was 1, Tua was 5, Herbert was 6.
Yeah, I mean, there's those guys are all.
Hurts was.
Who was Kyler Murray?
2nd round, 53rd overall pick.
Kyler Murray. Who was? Hurts was?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
In that draft with Jordan Love.
So they're there.
Kyler Murray was number 1 overall pick in 2019.
Yeah, that sounds right. Kirk Cousins was what, a 3rd rounder after RG3, same year RG3?
Yeah, the RG3 insurance policy.
Yeah. So, all right, 505-246-0610. Kenny will be in. We'll kick it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
All right, Lobo game day today. How you feeling, Lobo fan? You're coming off. You still high off of that last, off the last one? Should be. You should be. Bourne says all initials OD. Jeff, you need to have the big voice guy kind of new intro. It's the award-winning OD in the AM with JC, JJ, and new producer TBA.
I say JC.
That's me. That's my middle name, JC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could be JC. No, yeah, I call Addie AC sometimes. Yeah, she responds. She knows who I'm talking to. All right, we can go all initials. Steve from Michigan said he was watching that game, the Bahamas Bowl with Buffalo, and my dad was wondering what was on the field and told him that I think it's sand. Yeah, dude, it looked like that San Diego State game. Remember when the Lobos played San Diego State and all that sand was kicking up?
Yeah.
That game at the Bahamas totally looked like that. But I was told a couple of years ago the field was a yard short because they play in an old track stadium out there. Well, I don't even know that's old. They put a lot of money into it. That's why they moved the game. Remember last year they moved it to Charlotte?
Bahamas Bowl in Charlotte.
Well, they called it something else. That was that great Western Kentucky comeback over somebody. But, yeah, they had a big track event there. So this says, yes, 94-ish Chargers lost to San Francisco with Steve Young. Yeah, that was the Stan Humphries game. That's right. This says, did you guys see the story that the VCU men's basketball team will start paying their starting players an average of $384,000 per year? All the money in college athletics feels like an arms race. Do we know where UNM might be on the scale? Can they compete financially against a team they beat comfortably on the courts? From Travis. We're going to revenue sharing next July, right?
Yeah, as that house settlement goes through, and that's a game changer, even more so because you can sit there and talk about donate this, name, image, and likeness, and now these schools are going to be like, here's our plan. I've already seen it from multiple institutions. I've heard other coaches already talking about it. Like, yes, it is going to put you behind.
You know what? I'll reach out to Fernando Lobo this week and see if we can get him in studio here, maybe for an hour this week, and just kind of go over some of the stuff and you get to know him and talk about that kind of stuff, but where they go and look, it's changing. It's changing in a big way, and you're going to get away from this NIL to more revenue sharing. Hey, Mike, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for taking my call. Good morning and Happy New Year to both of you. I just wanted to call in to kind of comment on what I feel about this whole NFL quarterback situation. That's like you've laid it out, and I think your descriptions of it are accurate. My thought is that it just takes time to develop these quarterbacks. Like, where's Aaron Rodgers going to go? Who's going to play? I think that the Jets hold Rodgers and they keep him because who else is better? Like, yeah, he's a headache, but who are they going to get in there that's going to give him any kind of a shot at a chance? I mean, you got like look at everything you have for Caleb Williams. The stage was set for him, but he couldn't get it done. Bo Nix has had massive success along with Jaden Daniels strictly because of their coaches. You know, Cliff Kingsbury in Washington, Sean Payton's fantastic. You know, at Denver, that was just a great matchup. But who's gonna? I mean, the shuffling around and trading all these quarterbacks everywhere. I mean, it's just you just gotta like kind of dig in and develop your guy. Draft somebody behind. Put somebody behind Rodgers to develop him, or just what? Are the bottom teams just going to stay down in the very bottom and just few quarterbacks to compete? Because who's the next best quarterback? You know, who's coming up in the league? Yep. So I just feel like without some kind of investment of time into these guys, you're not just going to draft somebody to turn your whole entire program around. It just doesn't.
Well, but it kind of does, Mike. So would you say Washington drafted someone to turn their entire program around?
Well, I would say that they hired.
So you think Dan Quinn's more the answer than
their entire program around?
You think Dan Quinn?
Could it have Bo Nix, Caleb Williams? I think either of those guys, Michael Penix. You put any of those guys into that situation in Washington, and I think they're going to look and appear to be successful and be successful.
Okay.
Same with Denver.
I got 6 quarterbacks this year that may turn the corner. Right. I got 6 quarterbacks, certainly 5 that appear to be guys who are turning their franchise around. Right. And let's see what McCarthy does. But Penix looks like he's legit. We all believe that Caleb Williams is going to be good. Jaden Daniels did it. Bo Nix did it. Who am I forgetting?
Drake May.
Drake May is going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm with you there. I'm still not completely sold on Caleb Williams. I know he's got a lot of talent. Does he garner the leadership in the locker room? And is he ever going to get somebody in that organization that can develop anything besides, the
but it's what you just said, Mike.
Seeing?
It's what you just said, right? The coach has to be in there too. So if they put him in the right situation, and that's why this hire is so big, and I think that's one of the reasons that they're asking for permission to get Mike McCarthy in there. Right?
I totally agree with that, man. And I think if McCarthy gave the finger to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, that would be a massive move that really helping out. Hey, guys, I'm taking off. I just want to give you a shout out to say, hey, what about the Irish? What do you guys think about the Irish and their chances?
I like them.
I love how they dismantled Indiana and Georgia. How you like them against Penn State? Have a great day, guys.
I like Notre Dame. I don't know if they can score enough. I just don't know if they can score enough. I think this is a rock fight.
The best draw once you realize, Carson Beck ain't coming back.
Yeah.
I changed it.
Now let's see. Yeah, I mean, they beat an Indiana team where they were just better than talent-wise. And they beat a Georgia team who was with a guy making his first start.
But I do like them against Penn State because the way they play, they're going to run the football, play defense.
Penn State plays defense, dude.
Riley Leonard can make a play downfield.
Yeah, I think that's a rock fight. I think that's a 17-14
It does
game
feel like, all right, who is playing to lose to Ohio State?
I'm coming to, now that I just wrote another check to Michigan, my feeling for Ohio State is festering. I'm starting to learn that. My daughter just despises them already, dude. One semester in. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
That's it has to be a part of the application process. Like if you are accepted, there's no learning curve. Once
I told her
you get that acceptance letter, you have to dislike.
I said, we got roots, man. Our family's from Youngstown, Ohio, baby. That's what I told her. You know how I believe in magic of sports, though? Tell me that the magic of sports story is not Ryan Day losing as big favorites at home to a marginal Michigan team, everybody wanting him run out, and he come back and win a national championship. Tell me that isn't the magical story. And I believe in that mess. Give me a better one. You got a better one this year? Because there isn't.
No, I don't think that's a magical story at all.
Really?
Not at all.
Really?
You're a good team that had a really bad day.
Okay.
I don't think that's a magical story.
Oh, man. Everybody wanted him out. Every Ohio, so you got to fire this guy. And if he comes back and wins a national championship, I don't know that I like him or dislike him. I'm indifferent on him.
In the new era of college athletics, it's you can lose that game and still win a national championship, but you could never do before.
That's right.
So if you're an Ohio State fan, you want everything, right? You want your cake and your ice cream and your chocolate on top. But are you still that pissed off that you lost the Michigan game if you're playing national championship, or is that national championship never going to feel good because you lost the Michigan?
Real fair question. All right, keep them coming. 505-246-0610. If you're there, I'll get you when we get back. If you need maybe a gift for yourself, Holidays are over. You get what you want. Was Santa good to you? How about giving yourself a gift and calling On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Get fantastic car detailing service. Let me tell you about them. They're best in the city. They were awarded best in the city because they take the time to make sure your car looks and feels brand new. Not only that, but they also offer ceramic coating, paint protection film. It all keeps scratches and stains off your vehicle. They also do window tinting. Buy yourself a gift today. Take care of you. Oh, did I mention they come to you? They do it at your convenience. You don't take it to them. I've had the service many times. I don't know where they are. You know what? It doesn't matter. They know where I am. They come to me in the parking lot whilst I'm working, and they detail my vehicle. When they're done, it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. Do something for you. You took care of everybody else this holiday season. Now, take care of you. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Learn more and schedule at otsdetailing.com. It's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads.
NML. Ezekiel Elliott's on a roster. He's going to the playoffs. Well, he's on the practice squad for the Chargers. It's Dalvin Cook, right? It's a body, and it's a veteran body. Opening drive, Jefferson Beata, JJ Buck. You know what else I get tonight? Besides little basketball, and I'm excited. I want to talk about this later. The inaugural golf league season starts. The TGL. It's like a virtual course. I don't even know what to expect, but I can't wait to watch it. Hey, Ken, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Ken.
Good morning. Hi, guys. Yeah, I was just thinking in context of the game tonight and Lobo basketball and then just college sports in general. I remember when we found out about NIL and transfer portal that there was always conversation that this could really, really not be good for mid-majors and things like that. And it just does not seem to have played out that way. I think of San Diego State before the transfer portal in basketball and NIL, they were doing just fine with Fisher, and now they're doing just fine after that environment. And I would even say, same with Boise State in football, same with the Lobos in basketball. Our starting lineup has 2 transfers and actually 3 transfers and 2 high school kids. So I just think you've got to understand the landscape and adapt to it, and it's focused on the student athlete, taking care of them, which I'm all for. But I don't think that it has been the downfall of college athletics at all. And then the second thing I got, and final thing, is what a great, great opportunity next year we have in Lobo football. We're going to the Big House, and we're going to the Rose Bowl to play UCLA and to play Michigan. Those environments and those buildings are iconic. Not saying we're going to get a win, but what I'm saying is if you're a Lobo fan and you get a ticket, what a great opportunity to fly out to Los Angeles and check out a game in the Rose Bowl, and it so happens to be your Lobo team. Somehow get a ticket to the Big House, get Rudy to hook us up with tickets, and go to the Big House and watch the Lobos play Michigan. Great, great, great opportunities, great environments. If we can be competitive, that would be awesome. But Lobo fans, I think there's a lot to look forward to. Try to stay positive, and I think the best is yet to come.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. I have the answer, or at least I have my answer. I don't know that it's the answer, but it's mine. You can pick one. You can go watch the Lobos play in the Rose Bowl against UCLA next year, or in the Big House against Michigan. Which one are you going to?
Big House.
100%.
Yeah. Now, to Ken's point, he's right. There's this guy is following what was that stuff. The transfer portal has never been a problem for New Mexico or teams in the Mountain West Conference that are able to be consistent and be competitive. Name, image, and likeness, yeah, you invest in it. The revenue sharing directly from the universities is a whole nother level from name, image, and likeness.
I don't know
that is something that I'm legit worried about.
The revenue
you
share.
can play the name, image, and likeness game because you just ask people to
donate,
raise money for you.
Yeah.
The university doesn't have to do it.
That's right.
This is coming directly from the university. So where's that money coming from?
Well, and that's where the fear on your Olympic sports is. That's where the fear on everything else. How are you staying competitive everywhere else? And it's real. Big House is the answer because the Rose Bowl is about the Rose Bowl. UCLA I've been to UCLA games at the Rose Bowl. It's cool. The venue's cool. But you don't get the full feel of a Rose Bowl. Like if you're going to go to the Rose Bowl, go to the Rose Bowl. Michigan, now, will a New Mexico game be the same as an Ohio State game? No. But it'll be a home game. You'll get the whole Mr. Brightside, the whole feel of the Big House. No, the answer is the Big House. Kenny Thomas, due to be with us when we get back. We'll kick it with Kenny on game day. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, glad you're with us. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki, I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
This is Kicking It with Kenny. I mean, at some point, maybe, right? Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Got a couple of questions for Kenny. When he, today's not Friday, right? He's not at Barrelas eating bacon and eggs and tortillas. 505-246-0610. Got a bunch of emails from you and text. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Lobos and Wyoming tonight up in Laradice. You can listen to it over on News Radio KKOB. Pre-game at 7:30. They'll tip it at 8 o'clock. And after that, Lobo Live with, I'm going to get Brandon Ortega at lead billing since Kenny's not here. With Brandon, because Brandon will be there, right?
Yeah.
Is it all right if I give him a hard time? What would he do when Bliss? What would Bliss do when he showed up late all the time? Play him anyway? I guess kind of that's what we're doing. All right, text line. The worst take award from Black Monday has to go to MSNBC. JJ was absolutely right that Mayo should not have been fired, but MSNBC decided to blame it on his race and not the fact that he was 4-11 and lost the first round pick. I did not hear it. I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear it, so I'm not going to comment on it. Can you ask the great Kenny Thompson? Can you ask the great Kenny Thompson, it says right here, what he thought of the closing lineup from Friday and Patino going with the veteran CJ instead of True? It's from Travis. And then he said it again. He corrected it to Kenny Thomas. All right, I'll ask. I mean, assuming he's here. What'd you think of that? Doesn't matter who starts. It matters who finishes, right? And CJ made a huge defensive play along with Borovichinen on that trap on the sideline to force the turnover that ultimately led to the game winner.
That is correct.
That's why he was in there, right?
Absolutely.
CJ Nolan was brought in here to be that veteran presence, right? He's a fifth-year guy. He's an older guy. He was brought in to be that role. And that's what Richard Pitino's got him playing in. That's the role that he'll move into. Hey, while we wait for Kenny, and I don't know, is this on your radar at all, JJ, tonight? You got Lobos, Wyoming, and I got it. 7 o'clock tonight, the first of 15 regular season matches in the inaugural TGL, the Golf League. New York GC and the Bay Golf Club at the SoFi Center in the 250,000 square foot venue on the campus of Palm Beach State College in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. Does it do anything for you? I'm absolutely intrigued by this.
It's on my radar because I am always the dude that's looking at stuff, but it's not high.
Okay.
Because I'm rather be watching basketball and other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the Lobos start an hour later, so I'll watch this. So it's virtual golf course. This is Tiger and Rory's thing. The golf course design companies made these holes that can be played in varying orders, inspired by authentic golf landscapes. So there's a par 590 yard hole. They've got matches. There's a shot clock and timeouts. There's something called the hammer. The hammer increases the value of a hole by a point, and it can be played by the team that holds possession of it. And it'll be a coin toss. I'm really just interested in just watching this thing play out. The teams, who did I tell you was playing? New York Golf Club against Bay Golf Club. So the Bay Golf Club is Ludwig Eberg, Wyndham Clark, Min Woo Lee, and Shane Lowry. And New York is Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, and Cameron Young. Tiger's on a team, Jupiter Links, with Max Homa and Tom Kim. They're going to talk trash. There's kind of a caddy. I'm super intrigued to see how they make this thing cool.
The technology looks fantastic, unbelievable. Like the rotating green and stuff. Like it's.
I want to know how you putt.
Super interesting.
Yeah. You've played with a simulator, right? Have you ever hit into a TrackMan or something like that? Like you go out to Pars and Rec, which is just, what David's done with Pars and Rec, I think it's just one of the greatest, coolest things we got. But how do you putt?
What do you mean?
And
they have an entire green.
Here they do.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that guy. But I'm more than intrigued in watching this. Maybe I'll take Kenny Thomas out. We'll play virtual golf, and he's got to give me like 8 strokes, one for every minute.
No.
What do you mean? No. What's up, Kenny Thomas? How you living?
No, man. Everybody always giving me crap.
Well,
after the show because you be going in on me like I'm late.
Well, are you not?
Man, hey.
No, you just tell me what time? What time's your segment?
Man, hey, let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
It's a blessing, and thank you.
It is a blessing
for allowing me to be here,
and it is a blessing to have you here.
But the boss man just stopped me.
Really,
Jeff?
You telling me
Jeff Barry? Yes, I was telling him.
Busy?
And Darren, they both stopped me, and I'm like, Jeff's gonna kill me. And I was here 5 minutes before. You can even ask Brenda in the front. I even have a printout of my new sponsor, Holman's.
What's up, Kenny Thomas? You all right?
I'm sorry, man.
Are you going to watch the golf? Like, you're a golf guy. Are you going to watch the golf league, this virtual golf thing with Tiger and Rory tonight? Are you into that at all?
No.
I'm so totally into it.
No.
I am so totally 100%.
I got a game tonight.
Yeah, but this comes on an hour before.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch some.
All right.
Hey, did you watch the tournament last weekend?
Where Matsuyama went, 35 under par?
Yes, he did.
35 under.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, just like you.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
what's up, JJ? My bad, bro. Hey, you guys gotta go talk to the boss man.
I will. I'll lay down a law.
Trust me. I am not gonna disrespect your show and you giving me time to be on your show.
Man, if I can't give you a hard time, I don't like you.
That's why I love you.
Yeah.
But the boss man really did stop.
So I saw you walk up the ramp with about 3 minutes to go. You have Lobo Live with the star Brandon Ortega and you, and over on News Radio. So I showed Daddy. I said, there goes Kenny walking out.
Yeah.
So you weren't in the pit for the end of that game. How did you? Did you see it? Did you hear it? Were you back here in time to see the overtime?
I'm so stupid sometimes because I was looking at the Mountain West Conference app to look at the game. I didn't realize it was on FS1 because I was there, and then sometimes it sucks because I have to leave before the game, right? So I've been trying to get the show actually in the pit to where I can stay there, watch the whole game.
So you just jump on there, jump on
thing.
Rob and Hunter's gear.
Something. I think somebody over there at UNM got to make a move.
When you're with the big dog in the halls, you should talk to them about that.
I've tried. The big dog has actually tried with UNM. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe it's one of those things we could just try out because the fans actually stay and hang out after the game.
Right.
So
let me hit you on this.
Yeah.
You been part of great endings. I'm not going to ask you if it was the greatest pit game ever. Certainly you played in one. It reminded me of the Andre Miller Royce Only game.
Oh yeah.
But certainly one of, and if you don't think it's the best, that's cool. One of the best Lobo endings in a pit game that I can recall.
The one that just with Nevada?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was huge. And it was the 1,000th game.
And those dudes were on the other side.
Yeah, and it was Alfred, right?
Yeah.
And you got the other guy over there. Yeah. Yeah, the other guy was
his name's Craig Neal.
Yeah, whatever that is.
You can say it. You can say Craig Neal.
Whatever.
If you prefer, you can say Noodles.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but being able to play in the pit, man, that's huge. Especially with the Nevada team coming in 0-3 in conference, and you smack them the way they are. But you could tell, like, man, it was huge because you had their one guard. I forgot number 8. I forgot his name. Sanders.
No. Yeah. Well, Kobe Sanders. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was the guard. You could tell he was winded, and you could tell like the energy of the pit was there. I didn't get to see the last couple minutes and when that shot actually happened, but the energy and the vibe that was in the pit, I haven't felt that since I've been coming back to Lobo games in the last couple years. I thought it was dead in
the first half. I thought there was no flow with all the whistles and everything. I it's like, what are we doing? 54 fouls, but the back and forth in the second half.
Yeah, I was just about to address that. That second half, I totally agree with you with the first half because if you notice the game, it was a little lethargic a little bit. It was a little slow, and it was one of those tempos to where I feel like defense was taking a precedence at the time because both teams were not necessarily knocking down shots. But when the second half came, when the Lobos had a couple opportunities to go on a couple runs in the first couple minutes, I'm like, hey, you have to actually convert on some of those opportunities to where if you want to see this building pop off, you got to convert. And I feel like the last, and I would say around that 12-minute mark, that's when that spark was happening. And then, like you said, I didn't get a chance to hear it, but I felt that vibe. I felt that tension, and I felt the community there. And that student section was sold out, man. And hey, I don't know if you saw that Kenny Thomas poster over there, whatever they want to call it. But yeah, that was the fat Kenny Thomas.
What did you make of the way the Lobos dealt with this style? Nevada tried to slow it down, pull them into the grinder early, and New Mexico having to get through that part of the game to try to get some of the up-tempo in the second half.
Man, I felt like the Lobos were trying to get out and run. They just weren't converting with those opportunities. I felt like Nevada wanted more of a slow tempo paced game to where they could control it. Obviously Dent coming out and getting out in transition, and true, it opens up a lot of opportunities. But it was just one of those games. The vibe was great. The energy was there. It wasn't like the last sold out pick game to where there was no energy there. And I feel like obviously you can blame it on Nevada. You can blame it on the coaching staff and all that. But I feel like the Lobos came out and played some good basketball.
When you look at the way Nelly has played, I know you talk a lot about the aggressiveness, but another double-double for him. What are you seeing about just his confidence and how now he's working within the flow of what they want to do?
Nelly is a guy that I feel like that can impact the game, especially when he's working his butt off in the post like he was, trying to get the ball. And I feel like Amzil and the guards were looking for him. He can impact the game at a different level if he eliminates second chance points. Obviously, it's going to come down to him. Amzil is a guy that came in, and I think he's been a great contributor when it comes to supporting Nelly, because when Amzil is being aggressive, it opens up opportunities for Nelly. Nelly, I feel like a lot of transition pick and rolls is going to give him some opportunities to actually be aggressive in the paint to be able to open up opportunities. And obviously the Lobos are going to have to knock down some threes more than they did last time.
Kenny Thomas is in the studio. We're kicking it with Kenny, the former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran. Lobos and Wyoming tonight. When we come back, how do you beat Wyoming? How do you avoid a trap game? How cold is cold when you walk out of the hotel in Laramie on a January morning? And how do you deal with the way teams are now trying to shut down Donovan Dent? It's the opening drive, kicking it with Kenny, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots. Got shots. Got shots.
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM.
Kenny Thomas, we're kicking it with the former Lobo great. Lobo's in Wyoming tonight over on News Radio KKOP. 7:30 pregame show. Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green will crack the mic from the Arena Auditorium in beautiful Paradise, Wyoming. 8 o'clock tip-off. And then follow that. You can listen to Lobo Live with Kenny Thomas over on News Radio KKOP and call in. All right, how cold? I was telling JJ, I got off a plane in Laramie once, and it was minus 20. And I've never felt anything. It was like, yeah, it's going to warm up to 0 today. It was minus 40 this morning. I'm like, you people are nuts. January, a Tuesday night, you're coming off a big emotional win. Yeah. You got San Diego State coming in on Saturday on CBS. Here's a Wyoming team. How does Coach get your attention? And as a player, how do you allow Coach to get your attention? Because this is the ultimate trap game.
Well, you're 4-0. You started out, the Lobos started out on the road 2-0 against Colorado State and Fresno State. Are games that they were supposed to win. In conference. And then you're supposed to win those, and then you come home, and then you have a big game against Nevada. I totally agree with you. This is a trap game, and this is one of those ones to where you can overlook it and be like, hey, we got to get ready for Saturday. And that's the part to where you can overlook something like that, especially, I mean, I played in New York. I played on the East Coast. I've been there, and just playing in that environment, in a hostile environment.
It's not going to be hostile. Okay, so here's the deal. The students are out. So school's out. There's no students. Laramie on a cold, snowy night. It's hard to get to. There'll probably be 4,000 people in the building.
When I say hostile situation, I'm not just necessarily talking about the crowd. I'm talking about going into a situation to where you should be able to win. This is one of those things to where I look at as being hostile because it can be detrimental, especially where they're at in the whole art. What is that? The
net. Yeah. So on that, and JJ, you and I haven't really talked about this. They can't afford a bad loss.
No.
And Wyoming is 143 in the net. This would be another bad loss, right? The New Mexico State loss is just, it's there, and you got to, as much as you hate them, you got to root for them because you need them to get better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Can that act, JJ? We haven't talked about this. Can that act as a motivator? Like you know your margin for error is 0 now. You can lose at Boise or San Diego or Utah State. You can't lose to Wyoming or Fresno State. And can that be a motivator to help you through something like this? I'm asking you.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Just knowing you have no room for error.
No, you can't. And I don't even expect them to necessarily come out and win by double figures, even though they should. What's the spread?
It's 6.5, and their leading scorer is questionable with an ankle injury.
See, they just need to come out and play defense, and the offense will come. When they come out and try and jack up threes, I'm not saying the Lobos can't shoot threes. I want the Lobos to be aggressive. Be aggressive, attack the basket, open up opportunities for yourself, get yourself going. If you're wide open, hey, take the three, but still be aggressive.
What's the balance you have to have of the confidence that you need as a player, as a team, where that doesn't turn into overlooking somebody?
Well, it's hard sometimes because especially if you're more of a dominant team, obviously the Lobos are more dominant, especially when they're playing some good basketball. Right now they are. It's one of those things to where it has to carry over. Who's going to be that leader? Who's that person that is stepping up? You know, I would really love to know who that would be, because
it's got to be number 2, doesn't it?
I mean, who number 2?
Donovan Dent?
I mean, outside of him.
Okay.
If you notice before the break, you made a comment about how teams are basically going to change up the dynamic on how they guard him. If you saw that in the last couple games, teams are starting to jump him at the big spot and making him come off the ball. So obviously Dent's going to have to figure out how to escape dribble and find the open man, and they're going to have to move the ball. When I say move the ball, that person that gets the ball from Dent, you're obviously probably not going to be the one that gets the shot. This is where you put the ball on the floor and you be aggressive and you attack and don't settle.
He's Kenny Thomas. We're kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck on the opening drive.
For you, what were the places that you liked going, you didn't like going when you're on that conference grind?
Man, it goes back to what Jeff said. That's a great question. Going to a cold environment, obviously Albuquerque's cold, but it's not the same, right? You're going into an environment that is something that you're not familiar with. You can overlook the situation, but go in being confident to where you guys are going to play within what you guys are supposed to be doing. What is the game plan? Stick to that. Stick to the principles. I feel like the principles right now are defense, because the defense is going to help the Lobos so much more than scoring, because I feel like the scoring is going to come even when they're on the roller coaster and not scoring in drought sometimes.
Did you like going to places like San Diego State? Wasn't very good when you were playing, so you get to go to San Diego and it was good weather, scenery is good, and they weren't very. Or did you like going to like BYU and Utah, even though it was cold? You're playing great games. Like, do you like going to a place that's going to challenge you more, or was it going into a place where, man, we got a pretty good chance to win?
I think keep in mind, man, we were ranked in the top 25 all 4 years, right? So we had targets on we had targets on us. Everybody was coming out trying to come at us. Like when you think about Utah, going to Utah, I always wanted to go there because I never won. I never won in Utah.
Did you never win in the Huntsville Center?
I never won there. I never did. Talk about a hostile, small situation.
And that was Doliak, Van Horn, Andre Miller. Those were those
Keith Van Horn, Rick Majerus, the late Rick Majerus. And then I ended up playing with Keith Van Horn in Philadelphia.
He was such a good college player.
Yeah. I had to compliment him on defense. Obviously, Keith was a guy
he was just long and wiry. And
he was a guy that obviously was instant offense, right? Because he's that slow, like Dirk Nowitzki type plays, like slow, lethargic.
I think he was quicker than people gave him. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
no, he wasn't.
No, all right.
No, he wasn't.
Hey, I want to go back to something you said, because I alluded to this at the break. teams, and I thought this was apparent all night long and really apparent on the last play of the game. Teams are not going to let Donovan Dent beat you.
No.
Right? When they knew, Nevada knew, that, and this is, I give this to Noodles and Alfred. In a key situation, if it comes down to the end, Donovan Dent's going to drive to the hole and cut him off, and they walled him off at the free throw line, right? Sundance Wicks, the head coach of Wyoming, said today, man, we just got to untie his shoes every dead ball.
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop him. The teams are going to try to not let Donovan Dent beat you. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody else, until you make them change. That's going to be persistent. So who is that guy? Who is it? Amsiel? Is it Nelly? Is it running the offense through the post? Is it Nolan? Is it BA? Who is it or is it somebody different every night?
I think it's going to be somebody different every night. Because I feel like there's not a lot of consistency when it comes to the backcourt outside of Dent when it comes to scoring. Let's just keep it real. And when it comes to inside presence, who's been more consistent? Amsiel. I feel like Nelly's been playing great ball inside. I'm not going to discredit that. But if you notice that Alfred, they went to a 1-3-1.
Yeah.
There's
an extended 1-3-1.
Yeah, so that means that's getting the ball off of Dent's hands. Yeah. If he doesn't have the ball, how can the Lobos be as aggressive as they are? So basically, they're going to have to find a way to where they get somebody in the middle and break down any type of trap, 1-3-1, 2-3 zone, 3-2-1. Because if you think about it, notice if Wyoming tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually go to a 1-3-1 or a 3-2 because they're going to be front loaded in the backcourt because they're trying to shut down Dent.
I'd definitely mention, because you talk about who needs to step up. Well, Dent's going to have the ball in his hands. He's a playmaker. You look at the plays that he made. I'm setting up CJ Nolan in the corner. It's on his shoulders, man. He's got to either score or make the plays.
If you notice in the first half, right, Dent wasn't scoring that much. So who was that person that was going to step up?
And they were losing at halftime.
Exactly. So you go back to that. Who's going to be that second or third person that shows up? If the Lobos are not knocking down buckets, especially from the outside on the perimeter, what do? I'm old school, man. You attack the basket and you figure out opportunities to get yourself going and go to the free throw line.
Where's Jimmy Butler going to end up, and does he make a difference?
Oh, man, yes, he does. Jimmy, it's going to be interesting. He's going to a contender.
Is it Golden State?
It'd be in the West. It'll be in the West. He won't. I don't think Pat Riley will want him in the East. So it's just going to be a matter of what's going to be given up. But the Warriors, come on, man. They got a lot over there, and there's a lot of money over there. I don't think they have enough.
Hey, I don't know if we talked about this. Your guy Mike Brown got released as Sacramento Kings head coach. Yeah. Elijah Brown, who played here for the Lobos for a while, this is his dad, former coach of the Cavaliers. He was assistant coach with Steve Kerr with the Warriors for a while. I really like Mike Brown. I know you do too, and I don't know that that's going to shake it up. And that's what owners do. It really felt like that was an unpopular move amongst the team.
It was. Obviously, Mike Brown, he comes to Albuquerque. He's here. Mm-hmm. I hung out with him in the summer, obviously. That's my guy. I've known him since I was 19. I met him at a big man camp in Las Vegas. I don't think I told you that. I was there in the summer. I was like, what am I doing here? I was so nervous. But once I got started, it was like, okay, cool. He took me under his wing, and then I've had conversations with him throughout my 11-year career in the NBA. I talked to him. Unfortunate situation. He's good. But hey, man, obviously it's how the team is doing after he left. They beat the Warriors in Golden State for that third win. They just were 4-0, and they just won last night against a Miami team. Speaking of Jimmy Butler, that was not there. Double overtime.
Well, they're a half game out of that last play-in spot. So that's where they are right now.
See, the thing about it is, what's nice is that there's a play-in opportunity. So everybody's going to get an opportunity. Everybody gets in.
Everybody gets in. You got an opportunity to talk to Kenny tonight after Lobo men's basketball. It's Lobo Live with Kenny Thomas over on News Radio KKOB. After every Lobo game, including tonight, Lobo basketball starts at 7:30 pregame show, 8 o'clock from Laramie. And then afterwards, you got the number dialed in, 243-3333. That's 505-243-3333. Put it in your phone, and you can talk to Kenny after every game. Good to see you. Friday, I don't know, 9:04, 3. I mean, whenever you get here.
I'll be coming from Morella.
I know where you're coming from.
No. I'm going to get here early.
Have fun tonight.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Thanks,
JJ.
He is Kenny Thomas. I was waiting.
He
nodded at you. He gave you a head nod. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
When you're a big star like that, though, I mean, everybody wants to talk to you. You show up when you want, right? I mean, it's how it is. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Text line JJ says Dodson and Applehans need more playing time. Dodson showed last game he can handle the rock. Applehans brings length and ability to hit the three. Washington is a ball hog turnover machine, and Nolan can't seem to hit the broadside of a barn at times. I don't know. Nolan hit a pretty big shot, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Pretty big three.
He is going to be a part of your closing lineup.
He is, first of all, defense is what he brings. I think, Cade's going to get some time. Dotson's a freshman that's backing up maybe the best player in the league, right? He's not going to get a ton of time. And I think he knows that. Now, I don't know what happens next. Do you think Donovan Dent's here next year? Does he go to the next level?
Feel one way or the other.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I think then Cade Dotson takes over and you got a good point guard. It's kind of like, Donovan Dent was in waiting behind House and Mashburn. You had a pretty good rotation coming up. But I don't know if that's going to change a whole lot. All right, 505-246-0610. Little NFL news. The Tennessee Titans have made a firing today. But they will keep their head coach. Brian Callahan will stay as their coach. They fired their general manager, Ran Carthon. So the head that rolls there is not the head coach, but it is the general manager in Tennessee. That just happened this morning. All right. Terry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Terry.
Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, JJ. Yes, JJ, I was disappointed that the Patriots won on Sunday. Didn't watch the game, but then I saw the score and went, yeah. So, like I said, at any level below the NFL, winning is great. Pee-wee, high school, college, whatever, but seeing them give away the overall number one, we'll have to live with it, and I know they're going to try and everything like that. When I was commenting about the net yesterday, I'll use KU as an example while the drunks got involved or the drinking heavily people. KU went from 20th to 10 in the net by one game just because they beat Central Florida by 50. So sometimes I think that point differential can really trigger some issues and throw things out of whack. The Lobos, where the computer was right, you play a close game with somebody that's close to you. It's not like college football. If you're close in the net, you're going to stay close in the net and probably not move a whole lot, so it's a lot harder. Lobos got 5 chances for quad one wins left. Maybe better if they have to split with somebody, win the road games, because the road games for everybody except Utah State, well, including Utah State, either way, it would be quad one, but if they beat the others at home, quad twos. So, they got their chances. I think what it'll be is come tournament time, it'll be who's ranked higher. Hopefully, whether it be San Diego State, Utah State, get a high top 4 seed in the tournament, helps everybody like that. So you go like that. Question, is Northern Illinois going to join the Mountain West in all sports?
No, just football.
Okay, good, because their basketball team is horrific.
Yeah, just football.
It's just probably one of the worst in the country. So that's good for football side. They'll have nothing there because I already think it's kind of, if you look 2 years from down the line, I guess I'm being the Debbie Downer 2 years from now because we're losing 3 of the top 5 teams and the teams coming in. Grand Canyon, but they're in the hundreds this year. Cal Davis is in the 200s. UTEP's in the hundreds. And
Hawaii.
So, yeah, Hawaii. So, good luck in getting multiple bids 2 years from now from that standpoint. But, so we plug along that way. Last week called in my Ohio State Notre Dame final is still riding. We'll see how it goes in the next couple of days if they put it together. But from that end, so good luck with the Lobos tonight. Like I said, there's no room for error.
Nope.
So they got to put them away and do that. So, and then Saturday they'll be rocking and rolling.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, guys. Have a good day. Take care.
Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Rudy.
Good morning. I guess it's like Smorgasbord Tuesday. I got so many things I want to touch on. Number one, Jason X said that was the best basketball game he's ever attended, the most dramatic. He had a bunch of recruits there, and it obviously paid off. That was just still people are buzzing about that.
Sure.
If you weren't there Saturday night, you're going to be one of those people later on, if you're a Lobo fan, who'll probably lie about it and say you were. It was,
that's probably right.
That compelling. And it's why you go to the pit, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, Addie, my daughter went back to Michigan on Sunday. She's like, Dad, I want a pit game before I go back. And boy, she was satisfied. She got one.
Oh boy, yeah, she'll be talking about it forever. I took a classmate of mine, to the UNLV New Mexico game when we were in law school, the 19,000 plus fans game, and even he couldn't believe it. You know, everybody there just talks about how Michigan Stadium is the best, and it is, and it's the same design as the pit. All the seats go down to field level. That's what makes those places
a lot bigger.
You know, you're packed in on top of the action, except you got 100,000 instead of 15,000. So it's amplified, but the sound goes up there too. It doesn't get trapped in the building. You know, I want your reaction about the pack. Whatever, are they going to get to 8?
Yes.
Who are you hearing that wants to join that?
Yeah, I think so. They still are holding out on this Memphis thing, and I hear whispers that they're throwing money. I just don't think Memphis is doing it. From what I hear, Memphis isn't going, and would Memphis trigger Tulane? JJ, I think you're hearing what I'm hearing on Texas State. That Texas State might be what gets them to 8, and then what? I think there's still some holdout on UNLV. I don't think UNLV's got too much money vested, and UNLV thinks they're going to the Big 12. Like UNLV is going to get this big chunk of money, and they're holding out to move to the Big 12. So I think from the Pac side, I think they think they're getting Memphis and Tulane. I think it's more likely that it's Texas State, but I don't know. I mean, they will get.
How's UNLV going to move to the Pac?
They're not.
To the Big 12 when they're not allowed to by state law without taking Nevada.
Yeah, I don't know that that's right, man. They didn't always. They weren't always in the same league. If you think about it, it wasn't just until the latest merger, the WAC Mountain West, that those two schools were in the same league. From what I understand, they got way more credence and way more talk than it's actual, right? I mean, think of all the years that they were not in the same league.
Which is why they were paired together by the state legislature of Nevada, because they don't want that to ever happen again. They want those two to be a package deal.
So is the state legislature going to hold UNLV back because just because of Nevada? Like if they get an opportunity to go to Big 12, you think they're going to hold them back?
If it's anything like the way this state operates, absolutely. And it is. And it is. There's so much hatred between those two schools, Nevada and UNLV, that it's just like New Mexico and New Mexico State. There's so much hatred. I hope they break through. And that's my other message, man. If you got a legislator friend, or if you don't even have a friend, call your legislature and tell them you're tired of this New Mexico versus New Mexico State, and neither side getting nothing. If we don't improve our facilities now, it's only going to get worse. This is a huge opportunity coming up here in the 60-day session to actually move these sports programs forward and to make them self-sustaining. And the best way to do it is to have some facilities that even you, Jeff, benefit from, that you don't have to show the opposing or the visiting team that horrible locker room that they have to dress out in.
All right, man.
That's a New Mexico pool.
I appreciate you. Thanks, Rudy. And he's right. The session starts on the 20th, JJ, at 60 days, so they should get a lot done. I mean, what are you hearing on the Pac? Are you hearing anything different than what I'm hearing?
What you laid out is the news that's out there. Memphis is an interesting one because I think that fan base is getting hungrier because their basketball program is absolutely being dragged down by that league big time. And they're wondering, hey, if this is out there, why are we legitimately not thinking about that? The Texas State, it feels like they've just been doors wide open. Like, come on in, just let us know, and we'll be right there.
Yeah, Texas State turned down the Mountain West. So, all right, 505-246-0610. Still time for you to get in. We'll wrap it up. Everything you got to know as you head through your Tuesday when we get back. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, Adrian's producing on ProView Networks, where you can watch the show on Xfinity Channel 26. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
So back in, I want to say 1978, 79 playoffs, 78 season, Jack Youngblood of the Rams played a game. He played in the Super Bowl against the Steelers with a broken leg. Kind of became legendary. I don't know if this makes that look like a booger, but this is pretty cool. Colts receiver Michael Pittman came out, JJ, and said he played the 2024 season with a fractured back. He said he's going to need surgery. Quote, when it first happened, they said it's almost certainly going to get worse, not better. It's all about as long as I could make it happen, and I did finish. I was hoping we'd be playing longer than this. End quote. 69 passes, 888 yards, and 3 touchdowns, mostly with a broken back. Dude, I have back pain. Back pain sucks.
Let alone, oh yeah, go play an NFL game. But what some of these dudes do to play the game of football.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your back is broke. You're going to get hit all the time. I mean, Here's to you.
You got a fracture in your back. No problem. Just go
here, shoot it
catch
up.
passes, and we expect you to be the team's leading wide receiver.
Yeah, we should just shoot it up. You'll be fine. I mean, damn, dude. Hey, Frank. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Frank.
Hey guys, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, I got a question. What game do you think was the best college playoff so far this year? I don't know if you agree with me. I thought it was Texas, Arizona State, and I was really enthused by the Arizona State fans. They supported real good, and I was wondering, is Tempe as big as Albuquerque? And also, the Lobos take care of Wyoming tonight because they're going to be on the big stage Saturday.
Yep.
And then, what about that job in Gable? That Miami Hurricane job is open. I wonder if Musselman's going to go over there, or even Alford or Patino might get an interview. You know what I mean? I just want to get your thoughts on that.
All right. Thanks, man. I'll hit all of those. First of all, in no particular order, Tempe itself is not bigger than Albuquerque, but that whole valley of the sun. I mean, Tempe is it's the Phoenix area, right? I mean, when you fly into Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport, you fly right next to Arizona State. It's Phoenix. So, yeah, it's way bigger. JJ, I don't think it's arguable what the best game of the playoff was, right?
It was Texas, Arizona State.
100%. Miami job's open. Basketball. I think Musselman's staying in SC for a little bit. Is he going for that job? No, I think Garrick Musselman is a SoCal kid, played his college ball at the University of San Diego. He's getting paid at USC. I think Musselman's sticking around for, a little bit. He's not a guy who stays anywhere he's like Larry Brown, right? I mean, he's got a zillion jobs. Now, if Richard Pitino does something here, is that a job that might come calling? Yeah, I could see that. Couldn't you?
Yes, I could. Successful NCAA tournament appearance, Rich Pitino is going to be getting phone calls from open positions.
Yep. I mean, somebody asked, how do we keep our coach? I said, keep losing to New Mexico State like that. Right? No, I mean, that's because if you have the success that you think you're going to have and you continue to win, we may be in that situation again this year. We're there last year, right? With the Louisville thing. Remember? Now, did it happen? No, somebody else got the job. But there'll be all kinds of jobs that open up, and back East jobs and Big East jobs, and that's an ACC job. Yeah, I think is that a possibility? Sure. All right, what do you got to know as you go through the day? The Chargers are adding Ezekiel Elliott to their practice squad for the playoffs. Don't get so excited. This is just a depth move. He'll be on the roster. Titans have fired their GM. They are keeping their head coach. Rand Carthen is out. Brian Callahan stays as their head coach. Tonight, Lobo men's basketball in Laramie, 7:30 pregame, 8 o'clock start over on News Radio KKOB. Big one for the 4-0 Lobos to avoid the trap game with San Diego State coming in on Saturday at 11 o'clock. And TGL, the premiere of the Golf League, 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN. I'm intrigued. It may suck watching guys play virtual golf. I don't know, but the names that are in it, the dudes that are in it, I'm absolutely hooked. Hoser, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Hoser.
Good morning, guys. Hey, quick thing on the game Friday night, man. The call with especially the reaction from the legend Hunter Green, that was incredible. I kept looking through all the socials just to hear that replay again over and over, and so I think that was just a great call that only going to live in Lobo infamy, right?
Yeah, it was one of those moments, man. It sure was. Yeah.
That was a big oh my moment for Mr. Portnoy, even though he didn't use the oh my, but oh well. But yeah, it was definitely cool. So, man, just enjoyed it and enjoyed the ride, and let's see what happens as we keep moving forward. And hey, I just want to give you a props for the cap, man. I love the New Mexico bow cap that you guys were handing out.
Cap. What cap did we hand out? The black one?
The clean. It was like a trucker hat. The netting.
Yeah.
It just had the New Mexico Isleta New Mexico.
Yeah, I think Isleta did those. That was courtesy of Isleta. I'm pretty sure.
Well, thank you, our good friends at Isleta. I appreciate that. Those were really nice. So
good folk.
Really enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. All right, man.
All right. Have a good one.
Later. Yeah, a lot of people wearing that black hat. I saw it at the pit the other day. A lot of people were wearing that. It was good to see. All right. What do you got tonight? 6.5. You like the Lobos by more than 6.5, right?
I do.
Quick start. I think they get a quick start. I do. I think Richard's got their attention. I think there's been enough talk about, oh my goodness, and what about a trap game? And I think he gets their attention. You know, this is your typical Tuesday night in January in freezing cold land, right? But I think they know that there's enough on the line. And what I was saying with Kenny, you and I haven't talked about this. You know, I just think the fact that the margin of error is gone. With that New Mexico State loss, you can't have one of these quad 3 losses and kind of get where you need to be. I think the sense of urgency stays there throughout the season on these road games.
I agree with that. It's one that you're not running from it. You have those expectations, and those are things that are on your mind, and you try to just keep the daily focus. You show up, do what's needed with practice, shoot around in the game that day, but knowing to reach the bigger goal, there's emphasis on that. And for the Lobos, a game like tonight, go handle their business, set it up for Saturday. And I think also the fact that if you acknowledge that it's easy for this to be a trap game is something that
it's in your mind.
You talk about and go, all right, we know that this could absolutely happen. It could be a trap game. People are thinking it's a trap game, so let's not let this be a trap game.
You know, I always wonder about the environment too, right? You're coming off a game in the pit that was crazy. You know Saturday's going to be crazy. It's going to be cold and, probably about 4,000 people in that place tonight. You're going to have to bring your own energy tonight too. Thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was with us today. You can listen to Kenny over on News Radio KKOB after Lobo basketball tonight. You can give him a call and talk to him about the game. Jim Rome Show is not next because the Colin Cowherd Show is next. That's been a switch. Get them both live. Colin Cowherd and the Herd is next. Jim Rome Show is after that. 2 Men On's here at 4. And we are back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work always on the visuals. Hey, big day for you?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business.